commercial all of a sudden.
I know.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
So cool.
We are so excited that you're all here.
Yeah.
I'm excited you're here too.
Listen, we are excited that you're here. Welcome, everybody. Really.
And these are our board members.
I know.
So wow.
We really made something come around from the start. Besides creating, we love stuff.
Oh, yes, we've done our share of that. I have my own Micheal store in my studio. You do.
So basically, we just wanted to obviously invite you all here. So this is kind of the first event.
It is,
First
absolutely.
big hurrah. But it's a chance that kind of we can engage with you, and if you have any questions or anything, I just want to start by saying that I do idolize you. I mean, for those of you that watch Joe's videos and all that, she's got just this infectious personality and this creativity. She's sweet. But really, I think as a crafter, that what I really love is the fact that I watch you, and you just kind of create something out of it.
Well, Tim, now let's talk about creating. Because, you know, I'm not just going to say this either, because you know what?
It's not scripted, let's just say
it. They said you guys need a script.
You're probably going to hate this because we're going to give away all the behind the scenes. They're like, dude, should we script this? And we're like, we need to be scripted to talk about what we love to do.
No, because I don't put
My
that
wife
down.
isn't.
But you know what? I feel the same way. You are an amazing artist. And
Yes.
you know what? When you go to a show, because of course the first time that I met you was like at one of the trade shows, which is what we just came back from. And I'm going to tell you what, they're just like, they are mesmerized with, and you just sit there and he's nice.
And he's nice. And he's cute. Oh, did you say I didn't do it? Oh.
But you know what? I love what I do. I mean, I'll tell you a little bit about my background, because my background does start from craft school. I wasn't always creative. I was in the restaurant business forever. My career goal, I wanted to be an accountant. That was it. And I was in the restaurant business, and after that, I wanted to have a job where I didn't have to be around people. I just said people in general. It was just, in the restaurant business, hungry people are aggressive people. Yeah. So I got a job at my local craft store. Really not. The thing about that was about merchandising for me, because I love the whole idea of having a challenge. Here's the stuff, make it look good. And after being there for maybe 6 months, the manager was like, you need to go and learn about this scrapbooking and rubber stamping. No thanks, it's not for me. I'm like, no, really? So I actually came down to Phoenix and took my first class. And like everyone else, you see embossing powder milk.
Yes.
Show me that again. And I was hooked. And after that, it's evolved into this career that I'm blessed at. I think when we talk about this a lot of times, just you kind of pinch yourself that we get to do this for a living.
It is pretty awesome when you think that there's a lot of people who unfortunately have to go to work to a job every day that they don't like, but 99.99999% of the time, I love to go to work. I have an amazing group of girls that I work with,
Yes.
and it's just every day it's like a new little challenge.
I would agree. I think one of the misconceptions, though, about being in the creative world is everyone's like, oh, you get to play all the time. Yeah. Sounds like that until you have deadlines, and it's like, you need to create this, and you don't have a creative idea. I mean, there's times where, you need to make something, or you need to make a project for someone, or a gift for someone, and you're like, all this stuff. Don't know what to do. Because you're just sitting there going, yeah, that's it. And I think we all have that. So I think that's one of the things that is important, and that's what I always tell, like my students, for example, when they're taking classes. It's like, you just need to let yourself be creative. Don't hold yourself up to this unrealistic standard of perfection. Embrace imperfection. And that's what it's all about.
There are times when it's the same way. Everybody who comes into our office, because we kind of have Pee-wee's Playhouse, and they're like, oh, you're just going to sit and play all day. And it's like, it is play, but it is. I mean, there are times when we sit, what we'll do is we'll sit around the table and it's like, okay, this is all the different projects that we have to work on. Now let's think about how we're going to do that.
Right.
Because it's like, how do you shop when it's like, okay, I have this project to do, and how do you shop for it?
Well, I don't have a problem shopping. I have a problem staying focused when I'm shopping. I'll say that, because I'll go in with this idea in mind, and then it's like, oh, this is, oh, look, a new display, oh, look, embellishments, and I end up with things that, yeah, I probably didn't need. But I guess when it comes to staying focused on something, I just shop for what inspires me, because I think that, and I'm not a very organized crafter. I mean, I have things. I mean, my studio is fairly organized. I'm going to say that, but I don't have everything compartmentalized, because I like to dig through things and see things that maybe I didn't set out to create with. You know, like when you said, you put everything out on the table, and you may look at something and be like, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do this that I was going to use on this project on here, and then before you know it, it goes. So.
Because it's fun to go junking too. Besides just the things, it's fun to go and just find some. It's like that surprisingly found object, and you kind of look at it. It's like, well, I don't know, but I have to have it. Okay, that doesn't mean I'm going to go home that very day. It could be like, aren't you ready to get rid of that? No, yes, I'm going to use that. That's how it is with my beads. But I love to make jewelry, and when I get my beads, and the girls are, oh, where are your really good beads? You know, and I'm like, well, I can't make anything out of it because I make something out of it. I don't have them.
You organize it, you talk to it, you're like, I'm saving you for something really special.
Yeah. Yes.
That's me.
So
I think that's the first question I ask people. I love your shop. I'm like, do you use it?
yeah.
And then they're like, do you use it? So yeah, the answer is yes. Yes, you use it, because I think that is important. Is that we use what we buy, so it can justify
going to buy more.
Right. That's, yeah.
We can keep you in business.
But it is. It's the same thing. I mean, I do buy a lot of things, but I use everything. I use some of everything I buy. Let's say that. That's good.
So it's good if we buy 2 or 3.
Well, of course.
Yeah. More is better, right? More is always better. It is.
Yeah, so I brought some things just that I want to share with you guys, and I mean, I'll show up here, but I have no problem passing them around either. But I just brought a couple of my projects from CHA just to show you kind of how my brain works, because and the nice thing about Micheal's, and obviously his gold members, you shop here, so you know the lay of the land, which is good. That they have a great section with my products in it, and it's so nice, really. It's so nice.
We need more.
That they really are the ones that saw the vision of pulling everything together. Because as a designer in the industry, I've been in the industry now going on 8 years. You know, it started out with just an idea of an ink line, but obviously that's evolved into doing paper and embellishments and stamps and now dyes and all of that. But it is important to kind of pull it all together, because I always design where one thing is going to work with the other thing. So it's really great to see the vision in the store where
it is, which we didn't always have that.
No, because everything kind of had its place based off product type,
Right.
product category.
Right. So it is fabulous when you come in now and you can go right to Mr. Tim Holtz section. We love that.
The picture was not mine.
The picture?
The picture. It's a little sign.
Well, we could fix it. we know the picture maker person.
Right.
We do that. Yeah. But Tim's booth at CHA was amazing. You just have to go from one thing to the next. But
It's just
you
stuff.
just